Louis Farrakhan did not know what to do with these men and women. And you so pompous and you so high and mighty and so arrogant, you can't admit that you don't know what to do. Didn't know what to do outside of religious teaching. If the only thing you want to do is build a church, okay, you can do that. Clearly we see you know how to do that. But the people are not a church. So the nation of Islam failed. That's just the bottom line. And too arrogant to listen to anybody else. So you think you're going to be successful? No. You'll get a few benefits, but you're not going nowhere. Because you don't have the appropriate knowledge. You're not using appropriate knowledge. Although this is the appropriate time. The only thing you were able to do is offer a symbol without substance. You offered no vision. And you said yourself that without vision, the people perish. What is your solution to the problems of the so-called Negro in America? Well, you know, we could overthrow the government. Oh, don't even bring that up. Again, you will lose and haven't even tried. Well, we already know we can't overthrow it. You don't know what you can do. You haven't tried it. Matter of fact, you don't even think about it. You're a loser and a coward and you're incompetent. There are many ways that a government can be overthrown. Use your brain. Think about it. You're unable to do it. So since you're unable to think, of course you lost. If you can't think, you can't play chess. Because chess and checkers are a thinking man's game. If you can't think, if you can't strategize, you can't play chess or checkers. The only way we have any kind of a chance is that we must become unified. And you hear all the debates, but you never hear a debate about, brother, I disagree with you. Brother, I know you don't like me, but brother, sister, we all we got. How are we going to create unity? That's what the debate should be about. Not about, can we decipher the Medunetta? Is the black woman the problem in the black community and all this other nonsense that we have become obsessed with? Nothing but distraction tactics, so that, because really the bottom line is you don't know. Just like if a person, when you throw them out into water and they don't know how to swim, they just splashing around. That's all that these people in the black community is doing, just splashing around. But if you have an idea of how to swim, you might be able to save your life. Somebody throw you out, and instead of panicking, okay, I saw them do this, okay, and you might mess around and learn how to swim immediately. You don't know. But this type of strategy, you just don't know. And nothing will work. I don't care who you are. I don't care how good you can speak and talk. How charismatic you think you are. How funny you think that you are. Whatever it is. It might work for your little organization. You as an individual. But it will not work for these who are the descendants of slaves born in America, who have been living in hell, having dark skin, going on 500 years. It will not work for them. And it is good that they don't support you. You have not earned support. It is clear you don't have the answer to the problem. So unity, the liberation of your mind, Unlearn all the things that you think that you know. Unity. I don't care how pissed off or who you don't like. When you see another dark-skinned face like yourself, I don't like it, but man, I got to work with you. That's the attitude that you have to have. You stole 5 cents out my wallet last week, but man, we got to unite. I can't be tripping on that 5 cents that you stole from me last night. You jumped me in line at the hot dog stand. Y'all tripping on petty stuff. You tripping on petty things when you're living with racists who are shooting you down in the street, killing and murdering you every day. And the discrimination that we have faced ever since being made slaves almost 500 years ago, going through the same crap. Whatever you do, you must think about separation. There's nothing wrong with separation. There are people who were married. When they became separated and divorced, they became better friends. Unless, of course, divorce caused people to hate each other over children and property. But if they don't chip off custody of children and property, a lot of times it makes people more friendly. They like each other because now they're separated. We must separate from those of whom caused us to be in this condition to begin with. We must separate from them. Because as long as you are integrated, dealing with them, your mind cannot be fully liberated and you cannot come into who you really are and grow into your full potential because you're too worried about, I don't want to offend them. They my friends, I don't want to offend them. And you have to take their feelings into consideration. You separate from them, you don't have to worry about their dang feelings anymore. And it's good that some of us don't care about their feelings anyway. But for those of us, we all humans, we all want to love, we need to separate. And don't worry about all the black folks. Worry about the group who are on time, acting in the appropriate manner on time. Be the leader that you are. Don't worry about the leader, a specific person. You and I, all of us whose minds are liberated and open, all of us are leaders. Find other leaders. A brain cannot bring a solution to this problem. We need brains. My brain cannot offer a solution. I can't do it by myself, no matter how hard I try, because I just cannot do it. It's impossible. I can only do what I am doing right now. That is to cause the awakening of your mind so that you can find your place in the struggle. We're not looking for praise. You're not looking for celebrity. You're looking to change the condition of a people who deserve heaven after living in hell for more than 400 years. You deserve heaven. And there are forces that don't want you to be happy. They like to see us suffer. They like us to have nothing. They like us on the bottom. And we should not be satisfied with being on the bottom, because actually we should be on the top. And that's why they don't like you. That's why they hate us, because that's just our nature. That's just how we are. We float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. We always like cream. We always rise to the top. That's just how we are. That's how we roll. But there are those who are just jealous of us because that's just how we are. We try to be good at whatever it is. Driving a car, we try to be good at driving a car. Boxing, tennis, whatever it is that we get off into. Being a drunk, I'm going to be the best drunk I can be. Right? Okay. I'm going to be a hoe. I'm going to be the best hoe I can be. That's just our nature. We just lively like that. That's just how we roll. Unfortunately, we do things that's a detriment to us the same way, but that's just how we roll. And it has gotten us in trouble because when they decided or made you a slave, because when they decided to make you a slave, I'm going to be the best I can be. Oh man. That's why another one of the reasons why it's so dang difficult to get out of this situation. Woo, man. You must understand that a solution to the problems of the so-called Negro in America must include all the people of soul. Not just the Nation of Islam, not just the Hebrew Israelites, not just the Kemites, not just those in the Christian church. It must include all the descendants of slaves born in America. Everybody must be included. Everybody must find their place in the struggle. Do that include the gay folks? Yes. That include the gay folks. Do that include the brothers and sisters that married to white folks? Yes. It includes all. It includes all. You want to make this specific, try to make this specific nation or country, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And actually, you're no better than the racists or anybody else on this planet. We are different. That's just the bottom line. And we have to learn and understand how to learn how to live with people that's different from ourselves. I like apple pie. You may not like apple pie. So I'm going to separate myself from you because I don't like them people that like apple pie. That's so silly and so dumb. It's not realistic. And you wonder why you stay in the condition that you're in. Even if you made a nation just of people who believe the way you do, you're still going to be different. Everybody is different. Your mother is different from mine, chances are. We don't even come from the same mother. We don't have the same father. Did not grow up in the same state. We have to learn how to deal with people who are different. It must include all of us. You must learn how to use your voting power. If your mind drives you or points you or directs you to using the vote, economics and school, all these things, I have no problem with them. Alone, they cannot work. Voting can help you. Voting can help us if we vote as a people. But as individuals, there's no power in it. And we see this. It's a done deal. That's for sure. Economics. If your schools, whatever that you do, the voting, if the ultimate goal is not separation, you might as well just shut up and just stay happy where you are right now. These things, if you're not thinking about separation, then we might as well just shut up. And that's just the bottom line. The reality of it, the best solution is separation. But you cannot separate and have this mentality that you have right now, because separation will only cause civil war. That's all it will be. So you will go and find your own little piece of land, and because y'all can't get together on your differences, and you still filled with self-hate, you're still a nigga, the only thing will happen is there will be a civil war, and your little country probably wouldn't even survive 2 weeks, because you still have a nigger mind, a slave mentality. Whatever you do in this country, voting, your economics, your schools, whatever that you do right now, until you get to the point where, okay, we have this land, we can start really building for ourselves. You must create a military for yourself. A military does not always mean a group of people with guns and bombs and things of that nature. But what about military? An army of lawyers. So when your leaders, when the government start coming after us, because when you really start doing something, the government going to start investigating and starting to find things to charge you with and lie and set you up on different things. You know how the government, you know what your government would do. Then you need an army of lawyers. And then you have these suckers that outright want to physically harm you. So you need a military. You need a black CIA, a black FBI that can investigate and deal with these enemies. So when one of us is shot dead in the street, it would be taken very, very serious by the government and anybody else. They will quickly apologize. We're going to invest. We're going to investigate this. Just like that young sister that was pulled over, regardless to if her actions was inappropriate. When something like that happens, the government itself will get involved, because what you actually will be having is an international incident. And if you have an international incident, that means that the government has some kind of respect for you. And you're not going to get respect by begging and pleading and all these things that we voting. And no, you're going to gain respect because you and I earned it. And when you earn that respect, believe me, they're going to give it, because they know you don't give me respect, I got something for your ass. That's just the bottom line. I suggest that we form an American-style government, because we're used to that anyway, where we have one person that will speak for all of us, who is under a 12-seat council, perhaps, that represent all of our major organizations. And then we have like a House of Representatives, like that 12-seat council would be something like the Senate. And then we have like the House of Representatives that would represent some of our smaller organizations and groups. And this president has no power, no more power than what the 12 councils seat and the House of Representatives give him or her. But basically, this president is nothing but a spokesperson. So you can assassinate the president. It means nothing, because all he or she will be is nothing but a spokesperson, because the real decision makers and the real power comes from the people themselves, represented by the 12-seat council and their representatives. And we must also make it very clear, and it is important, that everybody receives justice and you be fair to all. Be fair and just to all, whether they are gay, whether they married to a Caucasian woman or a Chinese person or somebody outside of the race. It makes no difference. We be fair. We're not going to be like those we complain about. I'm not going to hate you because you're different from what I am or think differently. But we will put those issues on the table